I will keep it 100 with you. I can't even be mad at her because a lot of the things that this character did in this film are a lot of the things that we think about wanting to do, but we just never do them. So the fact that she actually did it, I was like, yep, I probably would have did that too. Yeah, I'm gonna make that all make sense. So yeah, let's jump into the review of this new film right now. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. Today we're going to be reviewing the film Jolt, which is going to be releasing on Prime Video July 23rd. So this film stars Kate Beckinsale, who, if you don't know the name, you definitely know the character and the franchise that she comes from. She starred as Celine in the very popular franchise Underworld, which, considering how successful she was in that role and how successful that franchise was, putting her into another action thriller styling type of movie, fantasy, you know, just without a doubt, I know that she could do well. And so when I checked out the premise of this, I was like, yep, I'm interested. And I thought she did a really good job in leading this film. The character was super interesting. I was super invested into the character, the banter, just the whole psychology of the character. And overall, I'm interested to see where this possibly can go, because as we know, whenever she gets a good start on something, we end up getting 6 to 7 to 10 movies from it. So we'll see what happens with this one. But Jolt, so okay, here's the thing. As a young girl, she was considered to have a gift, and it's the sort of type of thing where if somebody does something bad, she can't control herself. I'll stop it right there. She's basically a mutant. She's basically a mutant at the very core principle of this. This little girl is a mutant, but they did categorize it as being intermittent explosive disorder, and with her having this categorization of being a mutant, as I'll say, she's stronger, faster. She's essentially a super soldier. She tried to use her powers for good, but she's having a really hard time controlling them, and thus they felt that she could not live safely in the world, or anybody could live safely around her. And it didn't help that her parents wasn't there to contribute to any positive way. Like, she really lacked love. So yeah, much like the X-Men, people who found out that she had powers was invested into her, and they was just like, okay, we'll see what we can do with that. But nonetheless, as she gotten older and she's tried to integrate herself back into society, she found a treatment that would make her normal. This treatment is Jolt. I mean, we'll just call it Jolt, but basically what it is it's a electric shock, that goes into her body that pretty much calms down the sensation. It's impulse control. So she has this device connected to her. When she hits it, anytime she's feeling like she's about to snap, it calms her down. But again, while this is only like a temporary fix, because now we have to actually talk about what's the meat of this story, like what's the purpose. So this is only a temporary fix, and she must go out into the world and find the ultimate solution. And that solution may be human interaction. Thus, this is where the love element comes into it. She found somebody, she goes on a date, and she found somebody that really brought the best of her out. And she feels like this is the key here. This person is the key. And while that's all short and sweet now, and it seems like now we can just end the story, of course, something happens to this guy. He's murdered, and that sends her into a swirl of revenge. And now she has to turn her bad into good to find out who is behind the murder of her newly found lover. So that's that. Kate, again, she plays this character Lindy, again, who I think, this film had a very unique characterization of it. Like, sure, it's action, sure, it's a thriller. Like, part of me feels like this film is like eerie similar to the movie Crank with Jason Statham, but not like Crank was like way over the top, but this one definitely was trying to drive down that road to some extent. So yeah, there was definitely some intense and some gory scenes. And again, like I said, it gave me the Crank vibes, but it really didn't like go overkill like Crank. The cinematography, I'm such a sucker, as I say time after time, for low light neon shots. Excuse me, I can't talk. There's some really absolutely beautiful shots in this film using really vibrant neon colors and low light shots. So I'll throw that in there too. Now, the other thing I'll say, you know, to the point I made in the beginning, is that because of the fact that, like, when she sees bags, she responds to it. So when people are like disrespecting other people or people are harming other people, she can't control herself but to intervene and take it out on that person. And that's where I'm just like, you ever been around somebody where you see somebody like do something utterly rude and you just be thinking like, man, I would smack that person, but you know, because you can go to jail for doing such, you just can't do it. But yeah, she doesn't care. She gives 0 F's on this. She's like, all right, you do something stupid, I'm gonna intervene. So that's where I was kind of tying that in with that. The score is super lit. I love the score of this film, and the soundtrack was super fun along with that. It was, you know, while it took a while for like really the fun and the action to kind of build up in this, the score and the soundtrack stayed very consistent the entire time. Now, this film is a little comedic, maybe a little bit more than a little comedic, especially the dialogue. There was a lot of genital talk, so I'll just throw that out there. But overall, I felt like the film did have good pacing. The overall action of the film was pretty solid. The film didn't overly take itself serious, and like I said, Lindy was super enjoyable. I loved our protagonist in this. I think that they definitely got something they could build upon. I really liked how this film felt. Like, it kind of felt refreshing. Yeah, it has similarities to other films, but it definitely felt like its own. And Kate, you know, I just think she does a phenomenal job as a lead in this capacity, and she's proven in the past, and I think she's right back to her bread and butter in this one. So I would definitely be down to see where this story can go. I would definitely be on board for a sequel, so we will see. But yeah, folks, this is Jolt. This is going to be on Prime Video July 23rd. Jump in the comments, folks. Let me know your thought about this film if you're checking it out. And as always, folks, stay tuned because we got more reviews coming very soon. Big old bell,